Almost live from Studio 1 in Washington, this is WCHS Today with your host, John Berkey. This is your announcer, Tom Fischbach. Tonight we have an AFS student, Johan from Belgium. Also, the surgeons were invited back because they had nowhere else to go. So sit back and watch the show and just have a good old time. And now, from Armpit, USA, the only man who didn't have to comb his hair after Hurricane Diana, Mr. John Berkey.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom. Let's see. Anyway, welcome to the show tonight, and these are the surgeons once again. They sounded pretty good, didn't they? Mike, what are you doing? Come up here.
My hair okay?
What? Yeah, your hair's okay. What are you worried about? Hurricane Diana, like Tom over there?
You guys, it's true. He does not comb his hair. It is true. He can wake up in the morning like this. That's probably what
he doesn't have to take a shower.
Yeah. Once in a great while. Anyway, let's go over and have a seat. You want to put that in there?
John, it's spilled the Coke on me.
You did? So what's new to report this week, boys?
Absolutely nothing for me.
The stock is up 1,000 shares.
What stock?
The whole stock market.
Okay.
Oh, let's show him the hat.
Anyway, before
the hat off.
we get started, we got to
actually
reintroduce who the guest is tonight.
Oh, okay.
Johan Domen,
Domen.
from Belgium is going to be out here in a few minutes to tell us about Belgium, and he's a foreign exchange student this year to Washington High School. And there's a girl, and she couldn't make it tonight.
Why couldn't she make it, John?
I'm not really sure. You'd have to talk to our talent scout, Jim Jurgis. He could probably fill you in on that.
I'll have a deep conversation with him later.
Okay, I know you will. So do you guys have anything new to report? It's been a week, you know.
You know about
7 days.
Playing at the bonfire.
Yeah, I think we told about that last week. Is that still on, Mike? Are you going to be at the bonfire? Tell us.
That was a good question. I'm sure you know the answer.
Well,
I'm going to be at the Beach Boys concert.
So you've decided for sure to go to the Beach Boys concert?
Yes, I have. And
That's
I'm
a
looking
tough decision.
I'm looking for a band conductor that will be most happy to assist the band.
How about an experienced surgeon conductor?
Like Tom here, right?
The original.
Anyway, one thing we did this week, Tom was involved over the phone, was we did a live promo.
Oh, yeah.
From East Peoria last Thursday night, and we have a few seconds of that. We're going to run about 15, 20 seconds of that promo, so if they can get it ready.
Is this where you're talking to me?
Yeah, no, we don't have, I don't think we have that on the tape, the part where you're talking to me, but this is just, we went down and did this live, and it's the last live promo we'll do, so can you run that now?
It's the first live promo.
Yeah. Can you run that now? There it goes. There's no sound.
Do we have any sound?
Today, and we are live here at East Peoria High School. We came down to visit and just kind of see how things operate down here.
We just got done watching Kirk's Country Kitchen, and
we really enjoy that show, don't we, Mike?
We really do, even though we enjoy WCHS Today more. Yeah. It's an interesting show.
So it's kind of fun being on live here, isn't it?
Yeah.
We just want to remind everybody to watch WCHS Today. Of course, it was already on tonight, but maybe they'll repeat it sometime this weekend since it was a great show.
Yeah. And the surgeons, any of you people watching from Washington and are planning to attend,
like Tom Fischbach, who we just called.
Yes.
Hi, Tom. Okay. We are back here. Anyway, we had a good time down there doing that live promo. Like I say, it's the last one we'll do, but we can do almost taped promos, and we'll be doing those.
Almost taped?
Almost taped. I don't know what that means. Don't ask me.
You know.
Almost live,
Well,
just
we have
like WCHS Today.
7-second delay.
Anyway, I have something here in the desk I know you're all will be interested in. Friends, what does this look like to you?
Woody's coffee cup.
This is your average Kroger coffee can, right? Well, why is this of importance? Well, let me tell you. Our very own...
Why is it of importance?
Our very own director, Mr. Woody Woodward, as he's affectionately known. Let's hear it. He's been known to be a little heavy on the coffee. I don't know. Mrs. Druin's out here. About how many cups a day do you think he drinks, Mrs. Druin? She says 10. Now, is that a conservative estimate, maybe? Okay, that's a conservative estimate.
Probably about 20, John.
Now, Mr. Woodward does not drink decaffeinated coffee. If Robert Young was around, he would certainly be in a lot of trouble. So we are starting our own campaign to get Mr. Woodward off the coffee habit, to kick him of that habit.
Poor guy.
So, friends, how can you do this? It's just like smoking or anything else. You know, it's hard to quit, and you need a lot of encouragement. So we want you at home to write into Mr. Woodward and to tell him that you want him to live a long, healthy life, and that you realize with caffeine that it makes him nervous and tensious and stuff. So write in. The address is Mr. Dave Woodward, Washington Community High School, Studio 1, and he'll get it right here in the studio, Washington Community High School, Washington, Illinois, 61571. So we really ask you at home to write into that. Just give him some letters of encouragement. And I know Mr. Woodward's in the booth right now. Why doesn't the audience give him a little encouragement to help him get off coffee, huh? Yeah. Mr. Woodward, if you're in there, do it for your wife and kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your dogs.
I think they should send it postage due, and Mr. Woodward should pay for it.
You heard that.
That's what I would do, but or you can also call in and call Mr. Egemeyer, which, by the way, brings up another point. Mr. Egemeyer, our friend and yours down at East Peoria High School, has a big event coming up in a month, and we're counting down the days. Mr. Egemeyer is going to get married.
Who's the lucky one?
So we know. So we're counting down, about a month from now, he will be getting married, and we're going to have Mr. Egemeyer and the bride-to-be on the show sometime, and they can... So Mr. Egemeyer is excited about that.
That's about your best joke, yeah.
Anyway, now something for the audience. I hold in my hand a Panther football. Now, I know all of you go to the football games, right? I know you all go. And the cheerleaders throw footballs, right? Right? Okay.
That's an audience response here.
Now, we're going to do the very same. We're going to throw a football out tonight and every other night, at least during the football season, to some lucky person in the audience that will catch it. Now, this is better.
Anybody who trips over the camera will
This is better. Now, we ask you to stay in your seats. This is better than your average football because, as you can see, it's signed. It's autographed by your very own John Berkey, Mike Hatfield, and Tom Fishbach.
I have my own half of the football.
Yes, and John Feeser. Wait a minute. Wait.
Feeser.
Good one, Fees. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have where's that?
Well, maybe the friends at home don't want this. I don't know. All right, so let's throw it out.
Is it going to go into the
Who wants
on
it?
the TV
What,
line?
I think they want it over here, huh?
Good.
Yeah!
That's a little, Who got it? Who got it?
Bring the guest up.
Who got it?
It has to be a guest.
All right.
Hey,
Phil
are you
Jackson will be showcased on some future night.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, isn't he?
Anyway, so that's about all we have for the pre-show stuff. We have an exciting guest coming
I
up.
have a question.
Yes.
You didn't give the people over there a chance to get to that.
Well, if you got
Sort
one
of aimed
football,
it
we'll
right
be-
towards
Well, I
that
saw
person.
excitement over there by the ushers and Steve Castle, and I said to myself, you know, where to throw it, so that's where I threw it. So, that's about all we have to report. Like I say, Johan's going to be out here pretty soon, but first, once again, we're going to showcase the surgeons since they're so good. Mike, why don't you take it away?
Well, John,
Somewhere else. Take it away somewhere else.
Happy to.
Good, please do.
That's a great applause track.
Yeah, the applause sign. The applause sign. And there they were once again, the surgeons with Mike Hatfield at the realm. Anyway, we're back over here, and we're now going to bring out a very special guest. This is one of, there are 2 foreign exchange students this year, and the girl was supposed to be here, but she couldn't make it tonight. So we have Johan with us. He is from Belgium, which is, I guess, one of the smallest European countries. It's located in northwestern Europe and only has 10 million people. So he's going to come out here now and tell us a little bit about Belgium and how it's different from the United States and stuff. Johan, come on. So welcome to the show. Now, I just gave a little preview stuff about Belgium. You want to tell us a little bit more about Belgium in general?
In general?
Yeah.
Belgium is very small. That's
There's
one
10
thing-
million people, right? So that's even smaller than, what, New York or Los Angeles or something.
Yeah, but I live on a very small area. It's the second...
Okay, you were backstage. You said it was, what, about the size of Connecticut?
I think maybe it's smaller.
Okay, so the areas, you know how big it is, like in square miles?
In square miles, but
Just about,
if you
know,
go
about-
from the top...
So it would be like
to-
smaller than Illinois, certainly.
Yeah, it is smaller than Illinois for sure. But if you go from the top to the bottom,
Yeah.
it's less than 200 miles.
That's pretty small.
That's
so you can
small.
get, so where in the country do you live? What city?
I live near Antwerp. That's in the north,
It's in the northern part?
in the northern part
So how
of
close
Belgium.
are you to the border?
Well, I'm 20 miles from the Holland border, 75 miles from the French border, and about 100 miles from the German border.
So you can be at any country in, what, a couple hours?
Yeah.
Do you travel a lot to other countries?
Yeah, a lot. Sometimes. You know, it's easy. You
So
can
you've
go,
been-
in one day you can go.
Yeah, so you've been
to
to,
countries.
is it easy to get into those other countries? Or do you need
Yeah.
passports and that stuff?
No, just...
You don't need passports?
We have IDs, and you show your ID on the
Okay.
border, and just drive in. That's
Okay,
all.
so it's like going to Canada then from the
It's
United
just,
States?
It's kind of driving in another state.
Yeah, because here, you know, it's real easy. You can go up to Canada or go to Mexico without showing anything, but if you have to go to any other country, of course you need a passport. So you've been to all those border countries, right?
Yeah.
What other countries have you been to in Europe? Have you gotten to see most of Europe?
Well, the area around Belgium, I've been in France, Switzerland, Holland, Germany, and Italy, that countries.
Do the countries vary a lot? Are the people different in each of the countries?
Well, we think they're different, but for an American, if they come over to Europe, they look all the same. If I come here, all Americans look the
So
same.
you're saying if an American goes to Europe, they're not going to see that much difference between
Yeah, no,
between Belgium or France or whatever, but you can tell the difference?
I can tell the difference.
What language they speak in Belgium?
In Belgium,
Yeah.
many languages.
So they don't have like one national language?
No, I speak Dutch, which is a language I speak in Holland. And
But
then,
that's just because that's the part of Belgium you're in?
yeah, it's because I
So
live
people-
there.
So
Yeah,
people like in southern Belgium might speak something else?
People in southern Belgium speak French, and some people, though, even speak German. So we
Okay,
speak
so-
3 countries.
So there's no official language?
No, yeah,
You-
there is an official language.
Which?
Everything is in 3 languages.
Oh, okay. So everything's done that way, government and all that kind of stuff?
Laws are in 3 languages.
So have you learned all those languages in school?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd almost have to know them, wouldn't you, if everybody...
I
I mean, it'd be hard then just to learn to know one language and get along like it is here.
know them all. Not very good all, but I can speak them.
Have you ever been to the United States before this?
No,
Have you ever been to any other countries outside of Europe?
no.
How come you, okay, how come you decided to come over here to be an exchange student? But it must have been, a big decision, deciding to come over here for a whole year.
Yeah, it's a
How
big
come you did that?
decision. Well, it doesn't come one day, hop, I'm going to the United States. There's not, you don't say it in one day.
Mom, Dad, I'm leaving home. Not like that.
Bye, Mom and Dad. A year later, I come home.
So something you decided, you planned on for a long time?
Yeah, it started a year ago when I first
How come you
applied with
chose?
Davis.
How come you chose to do it?
I choose the United States. I choose it because, it's such a big country. And we hear a lot about the United States, but nobody really knows what the United States is like.
What do you hear about the United States? Is it good or bad?
Well, the main thing we hear about the United States is the TV shows.
Oh, you probably get most of them over there.
Yeah,
don't you?
we get Dynasty and so on TV.
Dynasty,
Yeah.
one of my favorites. What else do you get? Do you get Gilligan's Island?
No.
No, couldn't make it without Gilligan's Island, friends. Yeah, do you get WCHS Today?
No, I don't think
Not
so.
yet. I think I think it'll be going over there soon, being shipped over and stuff. So that's how you learn about America, is from TV, huh?
TV, yeah.
Now, how long have you been here? About a month now?
A month and a half.
A month and a half already?
Yeah.
All right.
I was here.
What have you found about the United States? Is it like it is on those TV shows, do you think?
No, it isn't.
No.
It's completely
It's not
different.
like everybody's not rich, like...
No, it's different, you know.
Okay, how's it different from what you've seen on TV or what you've heard about the United States?
Yeah. On TV, if you see the people, they're all excited, always driving cars and so on. Yeah. And if you meet Americans, they're real nice people.
But they're not on TV.
It's not on TV.
They're all rich and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that's what about the differences between what you heard about the United States? Did you constantly hear anything about the United States that you haven't found true yet?
Well, I can think of anything, you know.
You can't. So
Yeah.
you mean you weren't really that surprised then?
Well,
When you got here, you weren't really that surprised about what you found. You kind of expected it to be this way.
yeah, I kind of expected that way, you know. I
You weren't real
didn't
surprised.
believe those TV shows.
Okay, well that's good because some of the people here believe those TV shows. You know.
Yeah,
that,
TV shows about Europe aren't true either.
What are some of the differences between here and Belgium? I mean, certainly, you know, there are differences.
There are different.
What about, you know, like basic cultural, you know, what do people do different over there?
Well, people are different, and if they talk together, they're different, you know. Americans, if they say something, they are more honest than Europeans.
What do you mean?
More honest.
Where's the word pack? I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Sure. No, that's not your
Honest.
fault. More honest.
More honest.
It's
I
my
mean-
vocabulary, not yours.
I mean,
So people are more honest
I
where?
mean, Europeans don't like to say things they think and so on. They are more cool.
Oh, you mean they say nicer things?
They don't
Or
say the
you-
things they think, you know.
Okay.
They
I think
don't-
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah, I now understand. And what about other things? What do most people do for a living in Belgium? Do most people live in cities?
Yeah, Belgium is quite one big city.
Oh, so there's not really any.
Well, it's not.
I guess if it's that small, there really isn't any countryside.
There
You
is
can't
countryside,
like there
but-
is here in Illinois.
There is countryside, but you have several cities, and you know it's 20 miles from one city to another, and in between there is a bit countryside. But the
Oh, I see
cities,
what you're saying. So it's kind of like going from Washington to Peoria. You keep
Yeah.
going through cities, and there's a
Yeah.
little, you know, there's not really
it's
much
all
of a break.
cities all over the place. If you go to the south, you get countryside. Yeah. But cities are different.
So do you yourself? You live in a city, right?
I live in a suburb. of
In a
city,
suburb, but it's a city-like area. Do you live in a
Yeah.
house or an apartment?
Uh-huh.
Well, I know in some of those places they just have like mostly apartments and stuff, right?
Yeah. Many people live in apartments. We get.
What do your parents do for a living, or your dad, or whatever?
My dad, he works in a laboratory. He does research and so on.
So is he like a scientist?
He is a scientist, sort of.
What do you mean, sort of? Is he? I know you say this because you know he isn't watching, right? You don't have to worry about it.
No, he isn't watching.
So what does he do specifically?
Specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, he works for a photo company in Belgium.
Oh, so he like develops things for them,
Yeah, he
that kind of stuff.
he develops new things, new photo paper and so on.
Okay, I see what you mean. So he's like the Kodak of Belgium.
Yeah, the Kodak of Belgium.
Does your mom work outside the house?
No, she stays in the house.
Do most women in Europe stay at home?
Many
you know,
women
and just do
you know,
housework. Because you know here now,
Yeah.
it's changing a lot. You know, I think it was 50% of the women or something here, you know, have jobs outside the house, and it's becoming real commonplace. Is that so
Yeah.
in Europe or not?
It's not. You know, some women have jobs, but not many because there aren't enough jobs in Belgium. We
Is there a
un-
high unemployment rate there?
Yeah, we get an amount of high unemployment.
You have a what?
High unemployment.
Do you know what it is? Do you know? Would you have any idea what the unemployment rate is, so we can put it into perspective with the United States?
I think it's about 10%.
So it is a little bit. So ours is
It's
about what, 7
high.
now?
It's high.
What about inflation? Is that high? Is there a pretty good economy over there, or not?
The economy is, the system is quite the same as here.
So it's really, the economy's not that much different than it is here.
No, it's not that really different.
How old are you?
Hi.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18?
Yeah.
Now, have you finished school over there?
I graduated in Belgium.
You did?
Yeah.
From, what, an equivalent of high school?
Yeah. Now the high school, yeah. You can say something equivalent. It's different school system.
How is it set up? You want to explain that? Because I think it's different. We had on a foreign exchange student last year from Germany, and he told us all about the school system, but I guess it's different in each individual country. What's it like there in Belgium? Do you have an equivalent of like a grade school and stuff?
Yeah, in Belgium it's different from Germany. In Germany, they have 7 years of kind of high school.
Yeah, because the guy that was here last year had to go back to, he was, I think, 18 too, and he had to go back to Germany and finish another school year, because he wasn't done with high school
That's
yet.
the Germans. That's their problem. If they go back...
Okay. Tell it like it is. That's their problem. Okay.
It's a problem for them
Yeah.
because there's a year in between, and they have to do an extra year if they want to go to university. It's kind of a baccalaureate, or whatever you call it.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it either. Yeah, what's your question?
Oh, gee.
Real quick, what's your question?
Okay, isn't Belgium the diamond capital of the world?
Okay, isn't
It
Belgium
is.
the diamond capital of the world?
It is. Antwerp is...
So is your family rich? Discovered some diamonds under the house?
We don't have any diamonds, but I've seen a lot of them. If you walk in the city, you can see them all over the place. I've been in a workshop where
Yeah.
they make them.
Now, what you've seen in the United States so far, do you like what you see? I mean, do you like it here, do you think?
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of... I enjoy it.
Or do you think it's... well, I know one question I wanted to ask you. I've got an international studies class. We've been talking about Europe. The teacher that teaches that goes to Europe every summer or something. And he made the comment how he thinks that people are freer, feel freer in Europe than they do here. And I just wondered, what do you think about that? Do you think that's true? I mean, he said there are just less restrictions and stuff over there than there are here. What do you think about that? Do you think that's true?
It's true, kind of true, yeah. We get less things about, you know, we don't have those speed limits and so on.
Okay. And there's no drinking age, right?
No drinking age in Belgium.
None at all?
None at all. No.
Gnarly.
So if this was Belgium, this wouldn't be Pepsi. This would be okay. So did you drink at all over there?
Yeah.
Do kids usually drink?
Kids
a lot?
usually don't drink.
They don't?
They aren't allowed by their parents. So
Okay,
they
so all right. So the law says they can, but their parents really don't let them. So there aren't a bunch of alcoholics over there. And what about like drinking and driving? Is that a problem over there? Because it's become a lot so here, and that's why they make the drinking age so high.
It's not a big problem because, you know, I am 18 now, and I can drive a car now in Belgium.
It's 18?
You have to be 18.
Okay, it's only 16 here, so.
Yeah, but not many people when they're 18 drive a car, so that's not a big problem.
Okay, so they compensate for that by not letting you drive until you're an older age. What kind of classes are you taking here this year?
Classes?
Yeah.
I'm taking advanced chemistry. That's
Are you flunking that yet?
No, I'm not flunking that. I've seen that 2 years ago in Belgium, so.
Oh, okay, so you've had a lot of chemistry. What else
Yeah.
have you taken?
I'm taking U.S. history. I knew a lot about that before, but...
Yeah, you probably learn a lot about that in Belgium, don't you? About the United States history?
Well, we learn
Right.
about the beginning of the
Because
history.
we don't learn any, Belgium history in Bob's history class,
It's not interesting.
You don't. Just, where's the... All right, yeah, he deserves. All right, just the infamous bald head comes out of the control room. I'm gonna pay for that later on, but why not have a good time while you can? So, do you think school is harder here? Jan said a lot when he was the one here last year. He said that school was really easy here
It is.
compared to Europe, and there's certainly lots of talk that the Europe schools are better. Do you think that's true?
To be honest, I hardly do anything here.
So,
It's
you
easy.
really don't really don't do homework?
Not much.
Okay. Well, I don't either, so I've got the grades to prove it. Are you in any activities here? Have you been, involved in any activities besides schoolwork? Because that's what a lot of that's what's different, I guess, than Europe is. There are a lot of school activities. What have you gotten involved in?
Well, we don't have school activities in Europe, School.
Yeah,
school,
everything's done outside, right?
You
At
go to school. If the bell rings, you go out of school and you never go back to school. School is to go to school. That's all.
So what are you doing here? Are you involved in like any clubs, that type of thing?
Yeah, lots of clubs. I don't remember all the names.
Well, that's okay. But you are getting involved.
Yeah,
in
I'm
things,
getting
because that's what
involved.
makes. Have you made a lot of friends here?
Yeah.
Have you?
I think
What family are you staying with?
I'm staying with the Hayes. David Hayes.
Who's sitting right
He's
out there?
sitting there.
Do you like the Haitians?
Yeah, there's a nice family.
Good wholesome American family for you, huh?
Yeah.
Just like everybody else. So you really like staying with them, and you're having a good time so far?
So far, I've had a very good time.
All right, well, how would you feel about maybe coming on later in the year and telling us if, the stuff you've learned here? Would you like to do that maybe in the spring or something? Come back on the show? That hasn't been that bad, has it?
No.
Tell him out there. He was really nervous about coming on. You can tell him it wasn't really that bad, was it? We want to... We want to thank you for coming, but before we close the show, we have a surprise for Mr. Mike Hatfield. If the band leader could come up here, we have a presentation for him.
Thanks, Woody.
Have a seat, Mike. You can just sit down now. This gondola is from Mr. Woodward. They had a bet about whether Mike could get the band prepared or not before the show last week, and Mike won the bet, so
Do you think I got the band prepared? It's unanimous, Woody.
Nobody can say the band that Mike Hatfield, or Woody doesn't pay off the bets or whatever you want to say about him, huh?
Can we put this in there so it doesn't get hot?
You are going to share this, right?
No
With
way.
the staff
No way.
and the guests, right?
Can I have
You
tea?
have had a gondola.
We're on television.
Anyway,
I can't turn them down. Okay.
That wraps up the show, but we have a few statistics for you. You want to bring the camera over here, John?
Oh, wait, is this the Belgian flag?
This is the Belgian
show that up real fast.
Can we
I'm
show this
sorry.
Belgian flag real quick? Here we go. How do you hold this? Oh, there we go.
That's right.
I don't think it's meant to be worn.
Right?
It's right.
No. Oh, wait.
No, it's right.
Upside down.
Okay, so you reeled me on that one.
All right, sit down. All right, John, bring the camera over here on me. We were starting to take surveys of our audiences. Everyone knows the presidential election is coming up. I think it's November 7th or something, about a month and a half away. So we decided to take polls of our audience to see who they are voting for. We like to know who's in the crowd. And tonight, the official count. Can I have a drum roll, please? The official count is Mr. Mondale, 3. President Reagan, 15. That's not the only stat we took. We took a few, just to know the measure of the crowd. The average height for tonight's audience. The average height for the audience member tonight is 5'4". There must be a few munchkins. John gets down on his knees. The average weight tonight is 136.45379 pounds. Those were compiled by our very own talent scout / statistician, Jim Jurgis. Thanks, Jim, for those. And speaking of the presidential race, before I do that, I got a couple things here. We want to, there are a few people's names in the credits that are wrong. One, our gopher's name is Doug Piper, not Peter Piper.
We had to improvise.
That
We
was-
didn't know his name.
That was just a little mistake. We have another gopher that didn't get mentioned, which is my personal gopher, and that is Shane Newkirk. And we have someone in the control booth who is in control of the lights, and I think he also has the headsets in there, and his name's Scott Rathman. So they're all
What
important
about
people. They're not in
Bastion?
credits.
I don't think we got his name
Well, I'm
down.
not worried about him. I don't know. I didn't
No,
mean-
he does sound
Anyway.
like Steve Bastion.
I want to remind you once again about the coffee campaign. That's Mr. Woody Woodward, Studio 1, Washington High School, 61571. Please write in and help him get off caffeine, because he just, His hair, or what's left of it, stands on end. It's called Win a Date with a Star. No, I'm working on the homecoming. I think I'll have that settled. Anyway, next week we have a real good show. Steve Hampson is going to be on. Why do they all laugh? Steve, I know you're watching. He's going to be on. He's our political consultant, and he's going to advise us on the election, and he's going to try not to be biased towards Reagan, which he very much so is. And we're going to have another homecoming report. So be here next week, and stay tuned now for John Feaser and Sports Profile. Thank you for watching tonight. The Surgeons, once again.
3 and 4 and.